Let's talk about gun control. Gun control supporters would have you believe by simply removing guns, we could reduce violence, crime, and make everyone safer. These supporters want to remove guns from law-abiding citizens that obtained them legally to begin with. What policies will actually save lives? By removing and controlling guns, will crime and violence going to stop? Will gun control laws cost, or will they help save lives? Without a doubt, there are good and bad uses that can occur from guns. Let me start with some statistics so that you can have a bigger picture. Procon.org website reports that the average American gun owner is 74% male, 82% white, 31% are unmarried, 40% of them have children, 44% will live in the South, 30% is between the ages of 50 and 64 years old, and 45% live in a suburban area. 48% of gun owners own them for protection, while 32% own them for hunting purposes. 79% of the average American believes that by owning a gun, it'll make them feel safer. For my survey of my classmates, only 2 owned a gun. One has a handgun, and the other owns a 22 gauge rifle. So let's keep these in mind as we further discuss gun control. Let's evaluate first the violence and the crime aspect. Recently in the news, there was a shooting of a 2-year-old boy. His twin brother shot him while his mother unloaded groceries. This is such a sad story. However, details later emerged that the gun was the mother's live-in boyfriend who was out of prison on parole and should not have had access to the gun to begin with. Do you know that almost 3 times as many children die by drowning in a bathtub than dying from a firearm accident? Unfortunately, gun control would not have made a difference in this horrible accident. Gun control policies would remove guns from law-abiding citizens. Criminals will still be able to find a way to obtain a gun, just like in this story. Let's use another example. The war on drugs has not stopped the use of illegal drugs. Drug dealers are still able to obtain drugs, and the same would be done with guns. We have not won the war on drugs. What makes us think that we'll be able to control guns? We are going to prevent crime and violence. Unfortunately, you cannot legislate morality. The reality is crime and violence will occur even without guns. Crime and violence has dated back to the beginning of time. The story of Cain and Abel shows us that you don't need a handgun to carry out an intent to harm or kill someone. Most recently, the terrorist attacks in Paris were not just carried out by guns. The terrorists had bombs attached to their bodies that they used as well. Again, you cannot legislate morality. These people would still find ways to carry out their intent to harm others with or without guns. So what about the safety side of gun control? Gun control would shift the balance of power between law-abiding citizens and criminals. In a 2005 mail-in survey with different departments of chief of police across our country, 92% felt that law-abiding citizens should be able to own a gun for self-defense or protection. There was a survey conducted by felony prisoners in 10 different correctional facilities, and 56% of the prisoners stated that they would not attack someone if they knew they were armed. 56%, that's more than half. If anything, removing guns would make more people feel unsafe. I believe that gun control should focus its efforts on the legal background checks and waiting periods. Law-abiding citizens will comply with these requirements. In a 10-year period between 1998 and 2008, about 96 million background checks were processed and only 1% were denied. According to federal agents interviewed, the majority of those denials were issued to people who were not in danger to the public, but were due to previous minor incidents such as felony convictions of stealing a pig or a hubcap. In the state of Georgia, to obtain a firearm license, you must be 21 years or older, complete a criminal background check. If you've been in a mental hospital or drug treatment center in the last 5 years, the county probate judge will have to approve the license. To me, gun control is a responsible, trained person in control of their firearm. I am a licensed registered gun owner. I did not purchase my firearm with the intent to hurt anyone. I purchased my firearm to keep myself and my family safe. There are people that will break into a home with the intent to cause harm. The most powerful home defense you can have is a trained, responsible person with a firearm. Gun control supporters should focus on background checks and the proper handling and training of firearms. Gun control will not stop violence and crime alone.